Caitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Jai Shri Caitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Jai Shri Caitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Jai Shri Caitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Can I read?
So, please. Yeah.
Being engrossed in the material body, the conditioned soul increases the pages of history by all kinds of material activities. The teachings of Lord Chaitanya can help human society stop such unnecessary and temporary activities. By these teachings, humanity can be elevated to the topmost platform of spiritual activity. These spiritual activities actually begin after liberation from material bondage. Such liberated activities in Krishna consciousness constitutes the goal of human perfection. The false prestige one acquires by attempting to dominate material nature is illusory. Illuminating knowledge can be acquired from the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, and by such knowledge, one can advance in spiritual existence.
So, what are we doing? We are in the material body, and so we are doing a lot of material activities. And because of this material activities, they are called karma, no? Then we get
Mm.
reaction. And then we get the reaction. Some reactions are good, some reactions are bad. But that's okay. But what happens is they keep us here in the material world. So Prabhupada is saying that the teachings of Lord Chaitanya can help us to stop the unnecessary and temporary activities. Unnecessary and temporary. And that by following these teachings, we can come to act on the spiritual platform. So, is there activity on the spiritual platform?
Yes,
Do spirit souls can spirit souls act?
they can serve. They have the exchange. They have the loving exchange with Krishna. So that's their activity. They serve Krishna. They make Krishna happy there. So they are always active.
Yes, the spirit soul can act. Yes. Activity is actually for the spirit soul, not to the body. And these spiritual activities, when do they begin?
After liberation, the spiritual activities begin like once we are liberated, that
That's right.
from this world, like from the
Yes,
material world,
that's
and then
right. So one may be inside the body and yet be able to engage in spiritual activity. Means the
So that
soul is acting on the
right.
platform of the soul. Hmm?
So that is devotional service where the soul
That's
is
right.
like
Yes. Pure devotional service. Pure
uh,
devotional service.
okay,
Yeah.
pure devotion.
Yes. So, and then Prabhupada is pointing out that such kind of liberated activities is the goal of human perfection. We set out so many goals. Each of us may have different goals, daily goals, hourly goals, monthly goals, life goals. But what is the perfect goal? To revive our love for Krishna, to be engaged in this pure devotional service. Hmm. Right
So a
now, what
normal
we are.
devotional
Mhm.
service, then will that be considered as pure devotional service?
I'm sorry.
I said no, a normal person like us who who chant and read and like listen to the classes or listen to lectures. Is that this is also a kind of devotional service, right?
Yes, it is devotional service, but
How do you
it's not.
pure or not pure?
uh, So Rupa Goswami gives this definition of pure devotional service. Anya vilashita shunyam jnana karmadhyanavritam anukulyena krishnanu shilanam bhaktirottamam. That when one performs devotional service and he has no more material desires, there's no material desire. There's not even desire for liberation. He
Okay.
doesn't have desire for mystic yogas. His only desire is to please Krishna for the pleasure of Krishna, favorably by following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas. And such service is constantly performed.
Okay.
It's constant. It's not that there's a break in it.
Mm-hmm.
So that is pure devotional service. The devotional service we perform, as we read in Nectar of Devotion, then we are performing devotional service. They are under the modes
Of
because
multi-dimensional.
we may be in different modes. We may be in the mode of goodness or passion or ignorance. So our devotional service is mostly under the modes. So, but then what to do? What shall we do? Then
Read more,
Prabhupada would say, oh,
more,
I'm sorry.
read more, chant more, listen to the lectures, like get
Yes,
associated with these.
yes, perfect, yes. Because with time, it will happen. Prabhupada would say a mango, if it's unripe, with time, it will ripen. A mango is a mango after all. Even if it's unripe, it will ripen in due course of time. So, as you rightly said, just continue the process, be in the process, continue to hear and chant. And at the end of life, go back home, back to Godhead.
Mm.
Hmm. So, illuminating knowledge can be acquired from the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, and by such knowledge, one can advance in spiritual existence. So, this is real knowledge. Because we may think that um, knowledge, the end of knowledge is that I'm a spirit soul, and to realize that point, that is the end of knowledge, that I've already realized I'm a spirit soul. But actually, real knowledge begins after that. Real activities begins after that. To engage in pure devotional service. And so these teachings of Lord Chaitanya, that's what Lord Chaitanya came to give us. He's come to give us this highest knowledge.
Everyone has to suffer or enjoy the fruits of his activities. No one can check the laws of material nature which govern such things. As long as one is engaged in the fruitive activity, he is sure to be baffled in an attempt to attain the ultimate goal of life. I sincerely hope that by understanding the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, human society will experience a new light of spiritual life, which will open the field of activity for the pure soul.
So spiritual knowledge for the activity of the pure soul.
Om Tat Sat, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, 14th March 1968, birthday of Lord Chaitanya, Sri Sri Radha Krishna Temple, New York, New York.
So we can see that Srila Prabhupada, this is 1968, he established the society in 1966. So he was very eager to give these teachings of Lord Chaitanya very early on in the movement. He wanted to give this teachings of Lord Chaitanya to everyone so that by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, we can all engage in devotional service, take shelter of Lord Chaitanya, and go back home.
Prologue by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. This account originally appeared in a short work by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur entitled Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, His Life and Precepts, August 20, 1896.
So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in the 1896, he wrote this book, Life and Precepts, and he had sent this book to Canada. And when the devotees, after ISKCON was established, the devotees found this book in a library in Canada of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Yeah, so even Bhaktivinoda Thakur was trying to preach the message of Lord Chaitanya. It's very appropriate for us because Krishna has come as Lord Chaitanya in this Kali Yuga to teach us actually what is surrender, how to surrender. Yeah.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born in Mayapur, in the town of Nadia, just after sunset on the evening of the 23rd Falgun, 1407, Shakbad, answering to the 18th of the February, 1486 of the Christian era. The moon was eclipsed at the time of his birth, and the people of Nadia were then engaged, as was usual on such occasions, in bathing in the Bhagirathi with loud cheers of Hari Bol, Hari Bol. His friends, Jagannath Mishra, a poor Brahmin of the Vedic order, and his mother, Sachi Devi, a model good woman, both descended from Brahmana stock originally residing in Sylhet. Mahaprabhu was a beautiful child, and the ladies of the town came to see him with presents. His mother's father, Pandit Nilambar Chakravarti, a renowned astrologer, foretold that the child would be a great personage in time, and he therefore gave him the name Vishambara. The ladies of the neighborhood styled him Gaurahari on account of his golden complexion, and his mother called him Nimai on account of the Nima tree near which he was born. Beautiful as the lad was, everyone heartily loved to see him every day. As he grew up, he became a whimsical and frolicsome lad. After his fifth year, he was admitted into a Pathshala school where he picked up Bengali in a very short time.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my scrolling. I'll try to fix it later.
Okay, no problem. I have
Computers.
the book. Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
So
cool.
should I read or
So
okay, you
let's
explain me?
see that. So Mahaprabhu, he's born in Mayapur on a lunar eclipse. And so that in the English year it is,
1486.
yeah, 1486 of the English year. So it was a lunar eclipse. And because it was an eclipse in those days, what people would do is they would chant Hari Bol. They were all in the Ganga and they were chanting Hari Bol. What is the father's name? Lord Chaitanya's father's name?
Jagannath Mishra,
Jagannath Mishra.
Yeah. And his mother?
Sachi Devi,
Sachi Devi, that's right. And then his Nana, the mother's
Nilambar
father,
Chakravarti.
Nilambara
Nilambar
Chakravarti,
Chakravarti.
Nilambar Chakravarti, that's right. And he was a,
astrologer, Pandit,
yeah, and he gave him the name of
Vishwambara.
Vishwambar, yeah, one who is maintaining the universe because he could see this is a great personality. So he gave him the name Vishwambar. And the neighbors, the ladies were calling him, what would they call
Gaur,
him?
Gaur Hari for his
Gaurahari.
Yeah, Gaurahari. Why? Because he was
golden
golden.
complexion.
Yeah. And what was his mother calling him?
Nimai,
What?
because of the tree that he
He
was
was
born.
born under the neem tree.
Yeah, the neem tree. He
Nimai,
was born
neem
in
tree,
the tree.
Yeah, he was born
Neem
under
tree.
the neem tree.
neem tree,
Yeah.
right? Nima is neem tree,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So, kindly continue.
Most of his contemporary biographers have mentioned certain anecdotes regarding Chaitanya, which are simple records of his early miracles. It is said that when he was an infant in his mother's arms, he wept continually, and when the neighboring ladies cried, Hari Bol, he used to stop. Thus, there was a continuation of the utterance of Hari Bol in the house. Foreseeing the future mission of the hero, it has also been stated that when his mother once gave him sweetmeats to eat, he ate clay instead of the food. His mother asking for the reason, he stated that as every sweetmeat was nothing but the clay transformed, he could eat clay as well. His mother, who was also the consort of a pandit, explained that every article in a special state was adapted to a special use. Earth, which is the state of jug, could be used as water pot, but in the state of a brick, such a use was not possible. Clay, therefore, in the form of sweetmeats, was usable as food, but clay in its other state was not. The lad was convinced and admitted his stupidity in eating clay and agreed to avoid the mistake in the future. Another miraculous act has been
We'll just
related.
speak a bit. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll stop here. Yeah.
Sorry. So, what's important to point is that he was just a baby, yeah? A crying baby. And then he would just cry and cry. And how to stop him? What would they do to stop him to cry?
Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Chant. Yeah, chant.
Yeah, that's right. They would say Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And then then he would stop crying. Just so even it's just a baby. He's already spreading the chanting of the holy name.
But that was his
Yeah.
motto to come to the real world, no, at that time, to spread the
Yeah.
name.
Yeah, that's right. To spread the name. So this is also how he's encouraging everyone to continuously chant. He's saying, you don't chant, I will cry. So
Mm.
just to keep him quiet, they would chant. And then, so one time he was outside, before they would cook food in earthen clay pots and then they would throw it. It was just one time use. Like we have disposables, but our disposables are plastic. So those are bad for the earth, bad for the environment. But earlier they used to use this clay pots. And that's okay. That's not causing any pollution. It's natural, no? It gets mixed up with the earth. So he was sitting over there at the dirty pots were, and she was like, "Oh my God, why are you sitting there?" So he's like, it's okay. Everything is one. I'm eating this clay. It's one. Everything is one. There's no difference. Why shall I eat your sandesh, your rasgulla, your, all these Bengali sweets which you make for me? Anyway, the sweet's also going to turn into clay, so I'm going to eat clay. So he's, trying to say that we may be confused of the philosophy that everything is one. But then she's also very knowledgeable. She's saying, hey, what are you speaking? Oh, you're saying everything is one. If I put water in the brick, all the water is going to go away. I won't be able to hold any water. That's why I have to put the water in a water pot. Even though they are made of clay, there still is a difference. I want to store water. Can I store water in a brick? I can't. I have to store water in the pot. Similarly, you have to eat the sandesh and the rasgulla, not you have to eat the clay. And then he's like, oh, yeah, now I understood. I understood. But so he's already showing that everything, we may say everything is one, but yet there is a difference. There is a difference. Is that okay?
The same one, no? The same Leela also it happened when Krishna, right? Sent it with and Mother Yashoda, he was used to eat sand. Then
But
she
that was just to show her the then he showed her all the full universes inside his mouth.
Hmm. But I think she even explained to him, right? That
Oh,
you
is it?
cannot
I'm
eat
not
snake.
sure then. Oh, is it? Okay,
Hmm.
then I'm not sure. If he, I don't remember that.
Because she
But
just
here,
fainted seeing that.
When she saw the universe, right?
Yeah,
On
when
the
she saw
screen.
the universe, she just fainted, and then that was just the Leela, and that memory was wiped
Okay,
again.
she didn't explain
Yeah,
to him
no,
about
no,
you.
no.
Okay. Then maybe I'm mistaken. Yeah, okay.
okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So then,
It is said that a Brahmana on pilgrimage became a guest in his house, cooked food, and read graces with
oh,
meditation upon Krishna.
let me see. Okay, sorry. Yeah, this is a bit past. Yeah, sorry. Kindly read.
Yeah, you got it right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, Cooked food and read grace with meditation upon Krishna. In the meantime, the lad came and ate up the cooked rice. The Brahmana, astonished at the lad's act, cooked again at the request of Jagannath Mishra. The lad again ate up the cooked rice while the Brahmana was offering the rice to Krishna with meditation. The Brahmana was persuaded to cook for the third time. This time, all the inmates of the house had fallen asleep, and the lad shewed himself as Krishna to the traveler and blessed him. The Brahmana was then lost in ecstasy at the appearance of the object of his worship. It has also been stated that two thieves stole away the lad from his father's door with a view to purloin his jewels and gave him sweetmeats on the way. The lad exercised his illusionary energy and deceived the thieves back towards his own house. The thieves, for fear of detection, left the boy there and fled. Another
Mm,
miraculous act. Okay,
yeah,
I'll stop
sorry.
here.
Yeah, sorry. So this is a famous pastime of Lord Chaitanya, where the Brahmana kept cooking, and each time he would make the offering, Lord Chaitanya would come and eat the offering. Finally, the Brahmana said, "Why are you coming every time?" They tried so hard they first took him to the neighbor's house. He still appeared when the Brahmana was making the offering. He was offering to his Gopal deity. Then, after it became midnight, they put him to sleep, but everyone slept. But when the Brahmana was making the offering, Nimai still came and accepted the offering. The Brahmana finally said to the boy, "My God, why are you doing that? I'm making the offering to Gopal, and then you're coming and spoiling my offering. What's happening?" So Nimai is like, "But you're calling me. You're calling me. That's why I'm coming to eat, no?" And then he told him that, you had come to Nand Maharaj's house and cooked, and I accepted your food. And each time I come, you're cooking for me. And Lord Chaitanya showed him his form, but he told him, "But don't tell anyone, huh? I'm Krishna, because I've come as a devotee. It's my mission to spread this Sankirtana movement." So the Brahmana's like, "Oh my God, how come I can't tell anyone?" He said, "No, you can't tell anyone." Then the Brahmana stayed in Mayapur, and every day he would come to see Nimai. Every day he would come to have darshan because he knew the identity of Nimai. He was a Saint Gopal. And then these are, of course, more in detail when we continue reading with Caitanya Caritamita. These pastimes are more in detail in that. And this is that one time he was, how babies, we put for them a lot of bracelets and anklets, all that. So two thieves were taking him away. But he he put them in so much illusion that they thought they're taking him into the forest and kidnapping him far away. But actually, they walked back to the same house, to Jagannath Mishra's house. Then they were like, "Oh my God, what happened? We're going to get caught. Let's just leave the boy here and run away." And whereas the neighbors were all thinking that the boy is lost and these two thieves are good people and they have brought our child back. So they were running behind them to thank them. And but the thieves, they were thinking they are running behind us to catch us. You know?
Yeah.
So these are few of the pastimes of baby Nimai. Should we stop here for today?
Yeah, I think Neha, did you read that para?
Which one?
No,
No,
it's
right?
not
Yeah, so
read.
you can finish that, na? That para.
I
Which
can
one?
finish this one.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
No, the thieves one you read, right?
I read
Thief,
the
yeah.
thieves one. Yeah, there's another
Okay.
miraculous act. So we can read that next time.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Should I read? Okay. Another miraculous act that has been described in the leads demanding and getting from Hiranya and Jagdish all the offerings they had collected for worshipping Krishna on the day of Ekadashi. When only 4 years of age, he set on rejected cooking pots, which were considered unholy by his mother. He explained to his mother that there was no question of holiness and unholiness as regarded earthen pots thrown away after the cooking was over. These anecdotes relate to his tender age up to the 5th year.
So Hiranya and Jagdish, they are two devotees also in Mayapur. And they were observing Ekadashi, yeah, but they were offering to Krishna all kind of normal food with grains and everything, because Krishna does not fast on Ekadashi. So Lord Chaitanya, he started crying. He said he wants to get this prasad, whatever they have offered, he wants that food. This is also there. We'll read. Well, I forget, is it more in Caitanya Bhagavat or in Caitanya Caritamita? Anyway, when we continue reading, we'll see that. And then this is that he's sitting on the cooking pots. As we just said, that, they would throw away the pots after using it one time. And he was sitting there. And the mother's like, you're the son of a Brahmin. Why are you sitting in this unclean place? And he's saying there is no this I'm not very sure what was the pastime about. There was no question of holiness and unholiness as regards earthen pots thrown away after the cooking was over. So this pastime I'm not very, very clear about. Anyway, we'll just leave it at that. But this Prabhupada is saying is until he was 5 years old. So it's from baby to 5 years. It's like Pauganda. So as Krishna's Leelas are divided into Pauganda, Komar, then Kaishore and Yovan, so Lord Chaitanya's are also like that. From 1 to 5, then it is from 6 to 10, then 11 to 15, and then 16 onwards is Yovan. 11 to 15, that's the Kishore age. Yeah. So we'll stop here for today. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai, Hare Krishna. Did anyone want to add anything? Say
It
Thank
is
you
so
so much.
beautiful.